Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to be playing a list I've just put together that I've called John Cena, and that is because you can't see me. Now the reason I've called it this is that I'm trying to make a list that is all about making things a bit imbalanced. We can see them but they can't see us. Want to reduce the accuracy as much as possible, and what better captain than Zuna? So we want to basically invalidate a lot of their offensive capabilities. So we've got Dardo, so we can just heal things up that are taking damage. We've got Majan or Majan? I think it's Majan. Literally, I've never remembered this. I've played this game so much. I think Majan is what I'm going to go with, to create an obscuring area and to reduce accuracy, so making it harder for them to see us. Now, we've got Taurian Guardian, who's a cornerstone of Zuna lists, to make it even harder to see yet again. Between that and the Majan field, you can barely ever hit anything. The problem with that is that it goes both ways on hitting out. Obviously, Taurian doesn't affect our units, only affects theirs, but we need to be able to shoot them too. So, how are we getting around that? The first thing we've got is gone for Deadeye. So Deadeye increases accuracy for 2 turns, gains plus 40%. We can shoot through either enemy Zunas, our own field, if they have a Taurian, helps us get a bit more damage through. Arya has a similar effect, but only for herself, but 75% accuracy until she moves or takes damage. Now we've got Fate Twister Tantan, who makes a next friendly unit guaranteed to hit on its next attack, or a rival unit guaranteed to miss. Now this works both ways. It means that our units can hit them, but they can't necessarily hit us. And then we start moving on to a different game plan. So we've got Axel Pyro. AoE isn't affected by visibility. Same with Detonia, well, abilities I should say, not AoE. Detonia is on the same boat as well. Then we've got Flurry over here, so while his hit might be, the chop around him isn't, which is also works really well with Dardo and Resilient, because he can only take 2 damage per attack and then just gains it all back again anyway. Noxie for the same sort of reason. We're not running an extra Toxoid here. I don't really feel like it's needed, but again, Resilient, hard to chew through, get a bit of value out of it as well. We've got Stitching with Patchy, again, invalidate even more of their offensive capabilities, and Hit and Run, just because I wanted some sort of a second ambush unit. It's a really good mission play tool, and we can place it somewhere, we can hit them, run away again, living that dream of you can't see me. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to jump into a game, hopefully have a bit of fun and see what happens. If you've enjoyed this, please do like, comment, subscribe, join us over on Patreon. Anything you can do to support the channel is greatly appreciated. But for now, we're going to jump into the game. And again, these queues are just popping over and over again. It's the same as yesterday, and same as the previous video. I'm having a bit of a recording stint at the moment, so you'll notice there'll be a few videos in a row. And we've come against Purple Fox, a level 13 account. Every single one of these opponents has been different. We haven't come across the same opponent more than once. We're having a really good bout of just games to get played and just have fun playing Moonbreaker. So anyone who's worried about the population of the game, you really don't need to be at the moment. I've said this before, but you only ever need one other person to be queuing to find a game, so it's not anywhere near as bad as people might think. Okay, so we're against Astra, and the good news about Astra is it's terrifying in every single way, and if they play it well, we're probably going to lose. However, we might be able to just invalidate that game plan by playing well with Toltecan, Majan, or whatever they're going to call it in a minute. When we use a voice line, it tells me that I pronounced it wrong. That is going to be the game plan. So the question is which objectives we want to move to. I feel like naturally we want to kind of move up to this section, because having a big rock in between it really does play quite nicely to our advantage when we're trying to use some visibility shenanigans. If we position one side, they'll have to move up here. We make sure the defensive field is here, or same on the other side, and we can just deploy between the two. This feels like a Deadeye. It would be silly if it wasn't. Maximus is another good option, but Deadeye is far more powerful. Yep, there we go. So this does mean that I'm much less likely to get good value out of the Majan field. So I'm going to move up, but maybe not as far as I otherwise would, to try and get extra value out of it. Because moving all the way to here, actually, you know what, I can do that, because what I can do is just place the field all the way up to it.
Say what you mean.
So we can put it right in front of it there. I think I'm going to move slightly up at this point, not too much, but just slightly further up. Deploy Majan basically here, cover this entire gap, make it very hard for them to get a good angle on us. Assign the extra healing.
Take care of the crew.
And because we get 2 deployments here, we get a couple of choices. Now, Detonia works, but Deadeye and Axel Pyro are also fantastic. I actually think that Detonia could be the play here. So I'm going to kind of just move up here. In fact, Detonia ignoring line of sight. I feel like Detonia is just going to go right behind this as well. Again, make it as difficult as possible to hit them. I feel like I should have actually just put the heal on Detonia, but she's going to want to move out of the way anyway in a moment, so we're not blocking Toltecan, and we can move up here and deploy something next turn. I'm trying to figure out what would be good to deploy up here. If we had a Maximus, now would be a really good time to use it, because we could just place him up here, move, shoot, move back again. What accuracy have they got? Still pretty much 0% unless... the accuracy's on Astra. So we'll have to see what they can get here. They've got nothing here, which is fine. That's what we knew would be the case. And if they're positioning 25, we'll take that. 25 is pretty good for us. And they get 2 activations here, so they're going to shoot one with no value whatsoever. And then if they've got enough Cinder, yeah, they have, they can just refresh, move, and try and get another angle. But I don't think it's going to do them much good at this point in time. Okay, Broken Vengeance, that's fine. The good thing about Broken Vengeance as well is that if they don't move too far, we can just bomb all of these with the Majan field in place and not actually take any damage on the backswing either. So this could work really nicely for us. It does incentivize me to want to basically play even more defensive things, but I think an Axial Pyro would go well here just in terms of raw damage, especially if they're struggling to get through this. So I think maybe we just do the same thing, but just move move everything slightly forward, not all the way. So we're just going to move
Feels like yesterday.
Zuna up first, so we can deploy up top if we choose to. Deploy Majan. Again, it's going to go just over here. Make sure we get as much covered as possible so we don't get hit on the backswing.
Don't talk back.
Lob the explosive. Deal a good chunk of damage to everyone. And Toltecan can just come up here. And I do think it is probably Axial Pyro. Like, I think that is the right choice for us to make, and just, again, play super defensive, play it back here, and not go for the other objective yet. Just fight in the middle. Make them come for us. They can move around, but they can't get all the way around. Broken Vengeance isn't going to have a good angle into anything, so they'll probably at best get one good shot out of this. And if we can get a really good Axial Pyro activation... Okay, so they hit the 50-50. That's pretty good. They can then refresh this and maybe get pretty much a kill out of this. But it's not Detonia they want to be killing, and if they move over here, they can't refresh Broken Vengeance, which is what I would be doing in this situation. If they hit that, I'd be slightly sad, 3%. Then again, I've had it go the opposite way to me recently. 38, okay, good. Deadeye's got the next shot again. They can't even buff themselves up unless they've done this. There it goes. So you get the buff. But looking at this, we might just be able to... Oh, they got the 50-50. There's a good chance we can just kill Broken Vengeance this turn. We could just throw a grenade, hit these two potentially if they don't move Deadeye, and then just run in and burn. We might be able to get 2 units, in fact, if they don't move too cautiously. Okay, they did move cautiously, that's the correct choice. And I think now we possibly look at deploying up here with maybe Arya. Or we could also just deploy hit and run on top of Arya here. How far is the unstable area? It is big enough.
How about a grenade?
So, Toltecan can't quite reach. Axial Pyro probably can't either. So I think we just move things forward and just try and force them to play our game again. Honestly, I think aggressive placement here might be the key to trying to win this. So we don't have anything really great to put up here. If we can put... Actually, Deadeye going up here is pretty good. So I'm actually going to deploy Deadeye there. And then I'm going to spend Dardo here.
Can't waste Cinder.
Move up here just to reduce accuracy.
Grenade?
Here to get everything in range that we want it to be. So then we need to get everything else in the right position. So again, Arya's going to be the problem at this point in time, so we're just going to move up and Majan about here, keep Axel safe. We're going to just accept that they're going to be able to get a good bit of damage in that angle. Love the damage over there. Oh, they got that all the way through. Okay, well that's bad news. I actually think I'm going to save this and just... I really maybe should have just gone Arya for efficient usage here, but this isn't the worst. We've got pressure on them. We're scoring more points. Arya was always going to hit this regardless.
Don't
It's
mind me.
it's a shame that we put the heal over there first, because I thought we could have... Oh no, they can refresh. They can kill Axel. I think I've just lost this game this turn. I think this is the turn I've actually lost fully. Because now they've got loads of damage here.
Onward, Berg!
And if they don't miss one of these... I didn't think they'd be in range to do this. It's not that I didn't think it, I didn't even consider the plan. Otherwise I'd have put this differently, or I'd have moved Axel a bit further down. This was a bad choice from me. So, well played Purple Fox for spotting the line. I definitely think they played well there. It's whether or not Astra makes this one attack. This is just, whatever the percentage is the only thing that's keeping me in this game at this point in time. Broken Vengeance with that. Okay, so it does mean we can kill Broken Vengeance next turn. That's perfectly fine by me.
We can work with that.
What's the percentage they get on Astra? Or if they don't forget to attack, that's a hit and run somewhere.
Choices.
Please don't forget to attack with Astra. Please don't forget. Please don't forget. Press tab. Press tab. No, OP. I mean, this puts us in pretty good range.
Say what you mean.
Well, now that this is basically dead, we have to just go for it.
Take care of the crew.
We're going to go for killing Broken Vengeance first, because that's just very important. We want to stay further this way for in terms of just range. That's the right angle to just fire flamer both of these. Where does Deadeye go here? Honestly, Deadeye doesn't do anything, but we've got a load of resources here. So we can go Noxie and something else. I actually think Noxie here is quite a good call. And then obviously Stitchy is a fairly good follow-up to that. So then we can deploy Majan over here. Just get this as safe as possible.
Hard to focus, huh?
And honestly, I'm just going to keep moving this direction so that we're closer to Toltecan in case he dies.
Time to
We
spare.
do have access to that, so he can get all the way over there, so we're just going to move to here and take a pot shot.
We'll get snacks soon.
We missed, but it's fine. They shouldn't be in range of us, and that's all we're really worried about. We want to make sure we're good for that next turn. So now they pretty much can't kill Axel, which is great for us. If they keep moving this way, we're just going to keep running away, and we're going to switch the focus down here. We might be able to protect Deadeye a little bit, because we can just shoot and run. Yep, this is fine. We've lost Toltecan for now. Good news about Toltecan is he comes back again. So Arya's going to want to move away from that, because otherwise we're just going to shoot it and deal with Arya. I think we're going to be just short of getting Axel Pyro in range, but Axel Pyro's job now is to defend this angle from hit and run coming too close. Yep, you got 0%. I think Noxie's an interesting one here. Yeah, so that's just out of range. What's their accuracy? 50-50. Okay. Yep. So this is why having Noxie placed up here really matters. Because now they've almost definitely not got enough damage to kill this. Right, and we can start just bringing out a bit more impact onto the battlefield here. We can heal a bit more, we can just slowly rotate around and do more damage in a different way. So we do want to deal with these somehow, but we need more artillery for this. I think this next turn is where we're going to be looking at Arya and hit and run ourselves. Blindsider Esley is an interesting one. So we're just going to go down here for... Can we get anywhere in range for this? I think the first thing to find out is, can we just do this? Just by doing that we get a good bit of information. Yeah, so we can get the burnout. We're just going to burn both of these. Stitchy doesn't quite look like he can make it actually. So here we're just going to shoot and move back around. What do we do here? If we Stitchy to here and then heal, we can just Zuna in this direction. We kind of just want damage out, but what do we even do for damage here? It's probably just our own Arya. It kind of sucks here. So what if we just deployed like Torian just about here and made it even harder for them to deal with? We've got full health here, so we'll pop that there.
cinder.
And to be honest, they don't have that much range, so I feel like we're just going to pop this down on these as well. This works for me.
Built you.
If hit and run just spends too much time over there, we're fine.
My stomach
They're
is
not going to have a good hold on this point here. If Stitchy even heals this, it's a waste of resources. We're letting Toltecan go. We don't care about Blindside or SC. We just, if they're boxed in this corner with their only real value being hit and run over here, that's absolutely fine. We can just outlast all of this. We've got more healing than they have range damage, basically, because they've got what? I suppose this could act twice. So, yeah, there you go, 0% chance. I feel like we weren't necessarily in the greatest spot early on, but I think we've come into a pretty reasonable chance here. So we're now looking at potentially scoring 2 points, which puts us up to 6, which means we're really putting the clock out on, you know, how quickly we can come into this. A 0% there, even through all of that, is incredible for us. Because they had 75% additional, but then minus 50 from that, minus all of this, it actually still ended up being 0% chance. And now they've got Blindsider Esley here, which is going to get flamed. This, again, we do not care about. We're going to be able to heal this up, because Stitchy heals 4 now? Yeah. So we're actually going to be able to heal enough for everything we want. So we can just accuracy here, shoot this, move down, heal. Axel Pyro can potentially come over here.
set the stage.
If Axel gets a good angle here, we can just melt their battlefield. This could be big. Yeah, I mean, this is a huge amount of damage. We can also just leave this situation now. So I actually think we just... I think we Torian here so that Noxie can shoot through.
Anywhere for you.
We're going to want to put...
Beats being in a lab.
So this can just take a 29%. We've got loads of Cinder. Let's just do this. 69, much better.
No one believes me.
Pop over here.
Why was I programmed this
Heal
way?
up here. I'm going to deploy... In fact, we're just going to move ourselves back this way. And deploy Majan over... We're not going to be able to save Thingy. Axel here.
Focus,
And we
huh?
don't have enough resources to do anything about this, so I guess we're just going to take that shot here.
It's
And we're going to come up here to be the follow-on, basically. There is a bit of chance they can move up here, so we're just going to move Stitchy a bit further back. We kind of just left Torian, actually. Maybe this wasn't the best call. But they've got Stitchy, and they're not going to want to lose all of their combo, so they're going to defend here, kill Axel, and then we're just going to have to kill this on the follow-up somehow.
Got a problem?
I actually don't know if we have the damage to do so if they kill Axel.
Be relentless.
I'm just going to deal 12 to Axel and kill him. But luckily we've kept our captain safe.
Who's in charge now?
So we're just going to try and... Yeah, so this is a problem. Funnily enough, we will be able to get a Toxoid out of this. So I actually think we can kill it. Which I hadn't even considered until now. Because Toxoid gets to act straight away. So we can just hit here, get hit back for 2, not 6 because we've got Resilient. Create a Toxoid. Toxoid can kill this. And then we're back to being okay again. We can deploy 2 units next turn. It's probably going to be Arya and Flurry. Again, just blocking these off and trying to keep our point scoring high. Because I feel like this angle is where we're going to want to defend. So with just these 2 units, maybe this? No, we're not going to be in range there. So these 2 units will be able to kill this and not take really much damage at all. And then we'll be okay. It's still quite funny that we're going to have to basically sacrifice multiple things to deal with this, but this is going to heal every turn anyway. So I think we're okay. They can't move onto this objective either, as it stands. Ooh, it's a Toxoid. It's a Tipu.
No one
So
gets
do we
me
just...
either.
I think we just let Tipu die? We can just run away from that. And we'll do this another turn. Okay, now this is interesting. Well, we can just Fate Twist a Tantanet maybe, but we do need to deal with it somehow. The question is, which do we most want to kill now? I think the answer to that is probably just Broken Vengeance. Actually, it probably is thingy. Tipu. So this is going to come back and hit us, and we create a Toxoid.
We look after the children.
Toxoid comes here and just hits Tipu down to 2. We come down here and hit this.
Present and sterile.
We're going to deploy... You know what we're going to do? Oh, we can't quite get everything we need to. So
My tools.
we'll pop Arya down over here.
That looked.
We'll pop up here. They don't have any movement shenanigans, and we're just going to... Oh, we still have too many units. Oops. So in that case, we're just going to Majan here, I think,
Fly, Mahan.
and just move back this way. Okay, that was a bit of a mess. We've got resources here. We've got multiple things that are going to be defending. Again, I think we might actually be on the points game here, but we've got the tools we need. So they can deal enough damage to kill Noxie here, but the fact that we still have the Toxoid around is going to be good for us, so they need to try and kill both realistically. Yep, that's fine. So there's 1, 2, and they can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've easily got this. But this is going to be all of their resources, and they still have the Toxoid to deal with, so they're going to have to come this way to deal with that. Yep, and then just move this up here, or use Deadeye to shoot. And then whatever they have left, we can still Toxoid to death. Okay, healing that is fine. But that's going to end up with you nearly losing that unit, and we're going to 9 victory points, so you just need to... Yeah, this is fine, but then Flurry's coming next turn to do the same thing, and we can just kill one of your things. Oh no, they can activate again. Yeah, they can activate and kill Toxoid. There we go. So it does work. They are in a decent spot.
Voices.
But we do still just need to get... Oh no, because they could potentially go over to this. They need to kill Toxoid. Nothing else. This was a bad positioning. We should have placed this up. Don't run out of time. Oh, OP. Time is the big killer here. So all we need to do now is stop them getting onto this objective. So that's all I'm really going to do. Is just try and stop that deployment as much as possible. So we will go for this. This is fine.
Go ahead, take notes.
I'm just going to go for the 100% accuracy here and shoot this.
No risk, no fun. Why was I programmed this way?
We don't have any angles here, so Zula can just move this way. Arya can do the same
No
here.
more happy hours.
Just get stillness and shoot there.
Show 'em what you're made of.
Again, we're just going to try and lock this off as much as possible from all angles, including from things that could deploy here, but I don't know if we quite have enough size on our model. So we can just put all of this here.
I know.
Dardo can just... I mean, we're all fine here. We'll just stick it on Flurry.
See to the-
All I want is to try and hold this point for one turn. Like, they've got to take this point and this point off of us, which is a fairly big ask. We should have maybe just tried to find a way to leave Toxoid here, but I think this is reasonable. It's whether or not they have... Did they have an Aria? They've already used Hit and Run. And maybe they're not looking at points either. But I think we've got this. They have to find a way of getting onto this objective, or they just lose the game, because we're at 9 out of 10 points. So even though we gave up our Toxoid a little bit early, not Toxoid, our Axial Pyro a lot earlier than we should have done, there's a good chance that we have this game. We tried to make it so they can't fit on here anywhere near as easily as they might want to. And if they can't get onto this specifically, they just lose. Yep, there we go. We've blocked that off from that route. They just have to have Arya specifically left. There we go. Oh my goodness. That was a close game in the end. Like, I do think I was going to lose in terms of damage in the long run, but we stopped playing for damage. We started going specifically for trying to hold those objectives, going for those points, and we end up taking the game. So there we have it. That was a really fun game. Again, Purple Fox, great opponent. We've had some really, really good opponents during this recording session. I've had a great time in every single one of them. If you guys have, then please do hit that like button, the subscribe button, comment, join on Patreon. Anything you can do is really, really appreciated. Like I said, trying to get to 500 subs before we can hit my wedding in October would be fantastic. It would be a great little wedding gift from you guys. So if we can do so, that'd be wonderful. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have a good day.